5:30 in the morning. Got to sleep in late today. As we leave out of the park, even though they called this the Jaguar Tour, they warned us you aren't going to see a jaguar. Well, watch how we prove them wrong, chums.
I'm recording Jaguar. Jaguar is here in Mount National Park. It is one of the top cats in this park. Highlight because on the red list. I'm making video right now for my friend Steve. He's leaving slowly.
How's that for an ending to staying in Manu National Park in Peru? Awesome! Now we're back on the Madre de Dios River. We've got just about 2 hours more till we get to where we're staying for tonight. The entrance to our next lodge got a little tricky. You notice, as we've talked about here earlier, chums, we've got two captains on here. These guys have both lived their whole life and worked on this river, and they are impressive. See how they're working here together? Teamwork. And what's a boat captain's worst fear? It's not deep water, it's shallow water. And this water is getting shallow, with a bold rushing stream running over it. But watch how they handled this. I do think this is just a tad of showing off.
Bueno.
Madame is doing much better at this climbing. This place is humongous, chums. This is like the Hilton. But it is sort of like sleeping in a giant men's dormitory in a little cubicle without a roof. This place is weird. But we're here because the sweet Babu wants to see the tapirs. Even though our guide says this is a strenuous hike, madame.
Oh, wow. It's like a tree bark. Impressive termite mound.
By this point, Saturnino knew the sweet Babu's abilities, and he was nervous about us going on this trek.
The soldiers who's protected by birds, because some birds doing a nest over
They
there.
won't bite you?
No, they don't sting. They are throwing like a gummy by the tubular head. If you see with detail, they have tubular head.
Saturnino took his time to show us all the biodiversity on our
by native
walk.
people. We call monkeys ladder by the shape of steps by ladder. And they use for snake bite, for poison, especially for fertile lands. This liana will be the same age of this tree as older like that. They live only in the primary forest, not in secondary.
And obviously he knows his stuff, chums. He was born in the jungle. He could point out stuff we never would see, like this.
Right here. Get close to the camera so you can see.
I'm sorry.
Only if you kill one, they come to you. The sweat bees, they are coming. They're sweating to you normally. But they don't sting. They have honey inside.
But they don't sting?
No, they don't sting.
This mushroom?
Here's the pancake mushroom.
Pancake.
Saving Leo from having to cook tomorrow morning, we already had the pancake made.
This is pizza.
Oh, there's more over there.
Estas son las tortillas.
Tortillas, see. Mushrooms and fungus is everywhere in the jungle. And the fungus and mushrooms job in the woods is to help the decaying material to make the soil for the other trees to continue growing. Lots of mushrooms, different kinds right in the same area. And then Saturnino pointed out different defenses the animals and plants have grown to live here in the jungle. It's interesting. See? Camouflage.
This is the way how they survive, camouflage.
He is camouflaged well.
Be avoided.
Look at the spikes on this bamboo, chums. That's right. The bamboo have learned to grow spikes. Better to stick you with. You sure wouldn't want to grab them in the dark. And then look at this.
They're saying that this is the paw prints of a giant jaguar. They're amazed at the size of
Wow.
it.
Put your hand down again.
The guy was coming with us, he's scared, that's why he left.
You think?
Yeah, he was telling me.
Oh, so we've lost one of our group because he's afraid of the
Jaguar.
giant jaguar. He saw the prints.
Now
Ruh-roh.
we have now, let's count how many we are, 5. So let's go.
Hopefully he won't be hungry.
The grande.
Well, I'll tell you what, chums. After seeing that, the sweet baboo might pretend she's looking at jungle stuff here,
Oh, wow.
but I know her.
Walking path.
She's got jaguars inside her brain. Let's see what's going to happen with this as the night goes on. And then we came upon tapir prints, right in the same area that the jaguar we just saw's prints were.
Like this morning was that.
I don't know, chums. I'm not an expert on jungle, but this doesn't sound good on seeing a tapir. They got to either be scared and run away or they've been eaten. And this is probably why Saturnino recommended the sweet baboo not go on this trip. It got down and dirty, and it was still a pretty good hike to the tapir lick. This was strenuous, chums. But after nearly 2.5 hours, we've arrived. We're at the tapir lick, trying to get out of the mosquitoes. For some reason, the tapirs like to come down and lick that clay. I didn't taste it, so I don't know why. Me and the sweet baboo are in the... Well, other than not seeing any tapirs, things were going well until it got dark. And then the sweet baboo started having visions of that jaguar out there in the jungle.
The sweet baboo is afraid that a jaguar is going to attack us on the way back. Since we saw very large jaguar tracks on the way here. And some very small ones too.
That's why I'm opting to go back earlier than later.
So the tapir trip is off.
But that doesn't mean there isn't some really neat stuff to see on the way back, chums.
Here are the world famous leafcutter ants. Just cutting them leaves and
They carry the holes and they chew it and they wait for the mushrooms and they eat the mushrooms. So they are considered the biggest farmers of mushrooms.
where are they going?
To the hole, they carry from the tree to the hole. They can be 5 kilometers, 3 kilometer distances carrying the leaves.
Wow. Interesting.
Because they are selecting only the more high concentration of citrus leaves. This type of leaf is special. It's not easy to find, that's why they're carrying from far away.
This guy just got the wrong one by mistake.
And maybe the light is confusing some of them.
Yeah.
They leave it in pieces.
And here's another kind of ants, chums. These are called bullet ants. Saturnino says if one of these bites you, you'll wish you were dead for at least 24 hours. I don't want that to happen, do you?
Okay, good.
And then, of course, there are all kinds of bugs of various shapes and sizes. And foam. I have no idea what that is. And the sweet baboo's asking about hummingbirds? No, sweet baboo. Those are bats buzzing by your ears. They do have really large crickets, too.
And what do you call this worm?
Planarias.
And it will kill you?
To the mama, the earthworm. Some local people they call earthworm.
And it goes into the mammals?
Sometimes, sir.
Ay, 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 ay. Maybe that's where I was laying.
No, I was cleaning that stuff now.
And above all, chums, Peru is renowned for its tarantula spiders. This guy is big enough. What do you think he eats? Would you believe mice? Wasn't that cool how Sartanino used that stick to entice him to come out of his hole and show off for us? And of course, no trip to the jungle would be complete without at least seeing one snake.
That is very brave.
He's pretty. He's like a ringneck.
Yeah. We call this the emerald Amazon scarlet snake.
Yeah, because look how pretty his skin is.
What does he eat?
And then it's small worms, little frogs. Look at white belly. Look at this is belly.
That's pretty.
Aww. Maybe we should put him. Okay, good.
Adios. And the sweet babu is still alive.
See?
The jaguar did not get her.